Good morning, it's Dr. J from the She Protects YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to address some questions from the prior video that I received, so thank you for those. And then I'm going to take three common questions that I've gotten throughout the years and talk with you about that related to women's safety. So the first question I got from my prior video was about my mentors. They were retired when they came into my life, which is why they had time to talk with me. But like I said, I'm very grateful. I've learned a lot. I continue to learn. And these people were given very elite training, government training. And I have been a secondary beneficiary from that, from the civilian side of things. But it changed my life because it opened my eyes to what's out there, the dangers and the risks, the fact that there really are predators everywhere. I mean, there's predators that are planned, and there's predators that are opportunistic, and a combination in between. But the idea is to learn to recognize that and have a level of awareness that's going to shift your mind frame, like I said in the last video, of the lens with which you view the world and carry yourself in it. And if you decide to take on that journey, and I hope that you do, the goal is to lead a safer, happier, healthier life equipped with tools in your toolbox to help you do that. But the three questions I wanted to go through today, I've got them here. One is, what do you do specifically when you are attacked? Two is about carrying firearms, what I carry on what I carry daily with me. And three is about, someone wanted to know about, should I carry a firearm? So the first question, what do you do if you're attacked? I'm going to start with the caveat that every situation is unique, and you're going to have to use your best judgment based on the situation that you are in. So there's no cookie cutter response to give you here. There's no black and white. It's a gray area, and you have to go with your gut. You have to go with your instincts, and you do the best that you can. But in general, what the setup here for this question was, if I am attacked, if I'm approached, what do I do? And in this particular question, the person was describing a scenario to me of, they are approached with somebody who says, I'm armed, I won't hurt you if you do what I want you to do. And in that situation, you are left at that Y in the road. So what do you do? And the short end answer of this, and I'm talking again in generalities, you have to figure out what your situation is. But in general, you want to fight like hell. So if you're sitting there and you've got the options of somebody saying, if you come with me and you don't resist, and you do what I want, then I will not harm you, and you can go on about with your life. And of course, some bad things are going to happen with you, but the perception is you're going to walk away. And the statistics show you're going to be dead. Just flat out, you will be dead. So the scenario of somebody wanting you to get in their car and go with them, and then they're not going to hurt you if you do what they say, you're going to be dead. That's what the statistics say. So the idea here is you want to fight like hell. You don't want to give up your power. Don't let them bind your arms. Don't let them bind your legs. Don't let them put tape over your mouth. all of these things are taking away your power to be able to protect yourself, make noise, and so forth. Don't get into the car with them readily, because what they're going to do is they're going to take you to their comfortable place. They're going to take you somewhere remote or away from people or into their lair, so to speak, where they have more planned conditions, and they already have a plan for you of what they want to do, and you're not going to walk away from that, most likely, the statistics say, alive. So if I'm approached and somebody is saying this, I'm going to, 1, not give up my power, 2, fight like hell. These predators want an easy prey, and your best chance is either you're fighting away in some undisclosed location where you're going to be at a disadvantage and they're much more comfortable, and very bad things could happen. You could lose that fight. Or you could fight right where you are, and hopefully they're not in their comfort zone, and you're going to have the same sort of scenario in terms of whatever's going to happen for you, you've got to make happen for yourself. So if you're screaming and people are within distance and can come help you and come to your aid by making a lot of noise and drawing attention to yourself, there's that. You can put up the biggest fight of your life and do the best that you can to protect yourself. There's that. But the goal is hoping that you stop the threat or have put up enough of a battle that they decide this is not worth it. I'm going to go somewhere else and try for the next victim. So when I get the question of, what do I do if I'm approached? You do not give up your power. You fight like hell. Because otherwise, if you go with these people, they're going to take you to most likely a remote location or a location there that the predator is comfortable with. Bad things are going to happen, and you're likely not going to walk away from that. So that's that question. Second question, what do I carry on a daily basis? It varies. But in general, I always have my firearm with me 100% of the time, virtually in my life, unless I'm going into something like a post office or place where you can't carry a firearm. But I have trained in firearms and feel comfortable with the firearms that I own, and therefore I am armed and I have my concealed carry. And so that's one piece of equipment I always have on me. The other, I generally have some form of a blade of some type. It might be as small as a little switchblade that I can keep in the boot or the shoe or a pocket. It might be something more substantial. It just depends on the circumstances of where I'm going and what I'm doing. If I'm out and I'm going to a nice dinner and maybe I don't have the clothing on that can carry something bigger, I might carry something small. Or let's say I'm going on a hike and I am prepared with something more substantial. But I generally have some sort of a blade on me. Third item that I'm often carrying is the tactical pen. And I really recommend tactical pens. I don't think that they get the credit that they deserve. If you train with it, you know how to use it, and you know where you're going to plan your, let's say, attack. You want to be comfortable with the tactical pen, and you need to be willing to use it because you can do damage. For me and the way I was trained for women, there's a lot of different places that you can go to hit an attacker in their body. There's the head, there's the neck, there's the abdomen, there's the groin, and what have you. But for women, generally, with their height being, most women are not, the average size woman is shorter than the average size man. And it just so happens for leverage and attack stance and so forth, I really like hitting the neck. I like hitting the neck because there's structures in there that are going, my goal is to stop the threat and save my life. That's my goal. And so there's structures in the neck that are very important. There's all the major vessels. So if you disrupt that, you can get the person bleeding. There's the windpipe. So if you disrupt that and they can't breathe, if they're bleeding and they can't breathe, they've got bigger problems than coming after you. And that's the goal. So the neck is, as opposed to, let's say, trying to hit the pectoral muscles, there's a huge muscle base. The abdomen has got a lot of muscle around it. You've got to hit with enough force to be able to get in there. Usually with a tactical pen, that would not be a good spot. Maybe with a blade, there's some options. But in general, I really like, the neck is a main focal point. That and the face. If somebody can't see, that disrupts their plan of attack on you as well. So knowing how to, get a tactical pen and use it. You can also put your blade in these places. So gun, tactical pen, and blade. Third question that I often get is, should I own a firearm? And that is a very personal question. It very much depends on a couple of things. One is your environment, and two is your mentality. So if you are somebody in a home with 5 kids in the city, you've got a lot of considerations in terms of safety with how to handle that gun and make sure it stays safe so that nobody in your household gets a hand on it and you have unfortunate things happen. And that's why training is so important, and safety and diligence. So if you're going to own a firearm, you need to train, you need to be very diligent, and make sure that you get good instruction and understand what you need to do based on your personal circumstances to safely own a firearm. The other part of that question is mentality. And I remember in considering whether I was going to own a firearm and talking with different people about it. This was years ago. And what came up and what they wanted to know from me in all of their questions was about my mentality. So it was, the question is this: somebody breaks into your home and you are armed, and, what do you do? My response was to stop that threat. And I gave some very specific answers, basically 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. I'm going to drop the guy, period. And, they were like, okay, own a firearm. But for somebody out there who's saying, well, I'm not sure if I could really pull the trigger, and, maybe I don't want to kill anybody, and, maybe I'll just hit him in the leg and see if I can, that can get you into real trouble, because a lot of times that person's going to, if you don't stop the threat, and they get to you and they get to your firearm, they could use it against you. So you have to think about those sorts of things. So the question of should you own a firearm, it's a very personal question. I did a lot of research and asked a lot of questions before I went out and purchased my first firearm. As a matter of fact, I took courses and training. I didn't go out and buy a gun and then get the training. I started the training, got access to firing different types of firearms, seeing what I felt comfortable with. My instructors were watching what I was doing. Then they made recommendations based on that several months later as to what I may want to purchase for my first firearm. I got that, mastered that, and it's lifelong learning, so I practice regularly. And then I added from there with different types of firearms, concealed carry, revolvers, so forth. So anyhow, I hope that answers your questions, and keep them coming. I really appreciate feedback, and some of the questions that I'm pulling are really from a lot of the questions I've gotten over the years from clients about their own safety plans. And but I'm looking forward to talking with you and growing your safety plan, discussing any specifics you may have. Please email me at info4sheprotects@gmail.com, and I put that email in the description for each of the videos. And until the next one, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to talking with you again soon.